One day on the narrow gauge railway, all the engines came to the sheds to listen to a story by Duke. Even Trevor the traction engine came by to listen to one of Duke's stories. "All right," said Duke, "time for another story." As Duke was about to start another story, Bertie the bus pulled up next to the engines. And out of Bertie bus came Mr. Conductor. He then began to address the engines. "Narrow gauge engines," said Mr. Conductor. "While I am your new controller, I do realize that sometimes you need more help, and as I look at the standard gauge, they seem to have all the help in the world. That's why I've decided that I would purchase my first ever engine for the railway, and I decided the railway that would deserve a new engine would be yours. Culdee, I need your help." "With what?" asked Culdee. "I need you to go to the wharf, because that's where the new engine will be dropped off. Once Colin gets him on the tracks, I want you to show him what to do and not to do on the island of Sodor. Could you do that for me?" "Of course," said Culdee. "I'll go grab Catherine and we'll be off." "Why, thank you, Culdee. Now, Duke, as much as I would love and listen to some stories that you have to tell all the engines here, I need to go back and run the railway. Best of wishes to the rest of you as you enjoy Duke's stories." And Bertie and Mr. Conductor soon left. "Well," said Culdee, "guess I'd better be off." As Duke moved out of the way to let Culdee go to the wharf. Once Culdee had picked up Catherine and a passenger train for the new engine, he puffed into the wharf. "Hello, Henry," said Culdee. "Is that the new engine you have?" "Why, yes it is," said Henry, "but I'll let him introduce himself." "Hello," said the new engine. "My name is Luke, and I'm here to help. Well, once I'm on the rails." "Oh, yes," said Colin. "Let me quickly do that." And Luke was soon put down on the tracks. "Here, Luke," said Culdee. "I have a passenger train for you. We can then head off." And once Luke had coupled up to the passenger train, the two engines were off. The two engines quickly pulled up next to Thomas at the quarry. "Thank you for the passengers," said Thomas. "Now, Culdee, who's this new engine?" "This is Luke," said Culdee. "Mr. Conductor gave him as a gift to our railway. It's my job to show him around ours today." "Nice to meet you," said Luke. "My name's Luke." "Nice to meet you too, Luke. I'd love to stay and chat, but I've got to take these passengers away. Talk to you both soon." And Thomas quickly puffed away. "All right, Luke," said Culdee. "We'll drop off our passenger trains, and then we'll head out for our next job." "Sounds good," said Luke as he whistled so loud that the boulder started to move, that he fell to the ground, rolled across the tracks, and hit Culdee on his side. "Ugh. Thanks, Luke. We better get going." And once the two passenger trains were in a siding, the two engines puffed away. Culdee and Luke soon arrived at the airfield. "Luke," said Culdee, "that engine over there is a Wilbert." "Oh, a new engine. Well, that's wonderful. It's about time Mr. Conductor brought a new engine to this railway. Anyways, as Culdee said, yes, I am Wilbert. I'd love to help you with whatever you need." "Thanks, Wilbert," said Luke. "Culdee's just been showing me around the island today. I don't know what her next job is, but hopefully it's something fun. I was just talking with my friend Tiger Moth over here, and he said an engine came by earlier and dropped off those cargo cars next to you. That's your job. I believe you're supposed to take it to the fire station?" "Fire station? That sounds good. Plus you can meet Belle. I think you'll like Belle, Luke." "Well, that sounds wonderful. Thanks for the information, Wilbert. I'll leave you and Tiger Moth to continue your conversation." "No problem," said Wilbert. "And come by if you ever need anything," said Tiger Moth. Culdee soon went to switch around the lines and connect to the cargo cars, and then the two engines were off to go to the fire station. The two engines soon pulled up by Belle at the fire station. "Well, it looks like I'm no longer the new engine," said Belle. "Now, what is your name?" "My name's Luke," said the new engine. "Mr. Conductor got me as a gift to the narrow gauge railway." "Well, isn't that nice?" said Belle. I see you have some packages there that we need here at the fire station. Just put it in that siding for me, would you?" "Oh, of course," said Luke. "No problem." Luke," said Culdee, "can you please uncouple me?" But Luke didn't hear Culdee, as he started to move them into the other line. Luke was pushing them so hard that not only did he knock the packages off, but he knocked Culdee off the rails too. "Oh, I'm sorry," said Luke. "I didn't mean to do that. I guess this is what I should have expected with the new engine. Oh well. Somebody better get Butch and Madge." The men at the fire station notified Butch and Madge, and the two quickly arrived. "Well, Culdee," said Butch, "you should have been more careful with this new engine. Now looks like you're the one off the tracks." And right in the middle of Duke's story. "Oh well, I haven't had an engine take a ride with me for quite some time." Butch decided to be quicker to just take the cargo to the fire station instead of putting them back on the flatbeds. Once all three were at the fire station, his next step was to start and take the flatbeds back on the tracks, with Luke taking each one away. After that was done, Butch went to go and get Culdee right side up. And soon Culdee was on top of Madge. Soon everybody returned back to the fire station, with Culdee still on top of Madge. "Oh well," said Culdee. "It's like when I first arrived here on the Skarloey Railway. I was in a position where I was higher up than the rest of the engines, but I also couldn't move my wheels. Oh well, I remember that time. I told those engines a lovely story. Madge, this might not be a Duke story, but would you like to hear a Culdee story?" "I don't know if I can speak for everyone else, but I'd love to hear a Culdee story." "Agreed," said the other three engines. "Well, in that case, I'll tell you about a great railway." The railway. It was named the Culdee Fell Railway. And everybody listened as Culdee told the tales of the Culdee Fell Railway.